Alright, Taylor, so we're going to look at your blocks from start to set to what your drive looks like out of the blocks. Okay, so right off the bat, I can see a few things that I want to change. Okay, the first thing that I want to see change is I want to see these shoulders over top of your hands. Okay, and right now, as you can see, everything's angled back that way. Okay, so what you need to do is bring those shoulders forward a little bit and make sure you adjust yourself correctly when you're down in this start position. Okay, the reason that you want your shoulders to be over top of your hands in this position is so that when you get to your set position, they are slightly displaced in front of your hands. Okay, because you're looking for that forward lean to get that forward push out of the blocks. Okay, the next thing that I want to look for is that once your shoulders are over the top of your hands, think about where that puts you, okay? So let's draw up from our hands where our shoulders, it's probably not a very straight line there, up from our hands where our shoulders should be, okay? Now, if we put our shoulders there, I'm willing to bet a couple of things. The first thing being that there's going to be a lot of space between where your arms are at and where that front knee is at. And then already, okay, when you lean forward, what's going to happen to this front shin? Okay, it's already slightly pointed down. It's going to start to point really far down, okay? And that is not what we want. We want it to be parallel with the ground. All right? So what I'm willing to bet needs to happen is you need to move this back pedal up one and this front pedal either up one or up two notches. Okay? And that might put you in the right position once you get those shoulders over top of your hands. Okay, so let's move to our set position and look at some things here. Okay? Some things that I do like, if you look here on the right side, I really like that your hands are up in a high bridge, and I like where your hands are in relation to your shoulders, okay? Meaning that if you look at Autumn, who is to your left there, she's kind of got her hands pretty wide in comparison to her shoulders, but your hands are just right, just slightly outside of your shoulders, okay? So what I'm basically saying is your hands aren't like way out here, okay? So that's a good thing. So let's look back to the left side. Okay, remember how I said that your arms were pointed in that back position? Okay, you can see that they still are. And even here, all of your energy, you can feel it all where? Okay, up here, up here. That's where I feel all your energy right now because you're holding yourself back from holding yourself in the right position, slightly displaced in front of your hands with that forward lean. Okay, so again, I think you're too spread out. You're a tiny girl. I think you need to move those pedals forward, and you need to make sure that you set yourself up right so that when you're in this position, your shoulders actually end up right about there. Okay, let's see. Let's look at your drive now. Zoom out a little bit more. Okay, look how it looks like you're forcing yourself to stay low. This is your initial push out of the blocks. Okay, there are some good things, but there's also some bad things. Okay, good thing, look at this foot and look at this foot. You've been completely displaced in the air. So what that tells me is that you're strong enough to get a very good push out of the blocks. Okay, what I don't like is how you're bent at the waist. Okay, and you're not in this arm isn't even up where it should be. It's already on its way back down. Okay, so you want to be careful about your arms angulating differently from how your legs are angulating. Okay, you want your arms to be big and explosive so that your legs are big and explosive. Right? So how do we fix that? Usually when somebody is bent at the waist like you are, it can mean a couple things, but usually it means that our pedals are bumped up too high. Just think of it this way. In the all the way down position, your pedals are already at a 45-degree angle. So when you're moving them up, you're making it more challenging on yourself to have a gradual drive phase, and that's why people stand up in their drive phase. And when I looked at your angles with each of, I think it was like maybe your first 5 steps out of the blocks, you started at a 41-degree angle, you stayed there for one more step, and then you bumped up to a 49-degree angle, and then the next 2 strides were 50 degrees. So within your first 5 steps, you've gone from about a 41-degree angle to 10 degrees difference. And you don't want it to be like that. You want each step to be very gradual. So if I'm pushing out at a 40-degree angle, I want my next step to be about a 41 or 42, and then my next step about a 43 or 44. So you want to make sure that that drive phase is gradual so you get the most you can out of it. Other than that, I don't see anything else that you need to change. Maybe test out some of those things I said and work from there, but we'll rewind and we'll zoom out and watch everything in slow motion. Alright, so that's all I got for you. If you have any questions, you know my cell phone number. Just shoot me a text.